Hello everyone, welcome to this video on histogram, frequency polygon and Ogive. In this video, we are going to construct histogram and use it to describe the shape of distribution. We are going to construct frequency polygon for a given set of group data, and we are going to construct Ogive for the given set of group data. Let's begin with histogram. Histogram is a graph that displays the data by using vertical bar of various height to represent the frequency distribution. Like in these pictures here, you can see the vertical bars of different height to represent the data set. So that is the histogram. Generally, we use histogram to represent the continuous data. That's why the bars in the histogram must touch each other. And we can quickly look at this histogram to describe the shape of the distribution. In the first one, the height of the bars are almost equal. So this type of distribution is called the uniform distribution. In the second diagram, you have the tall bar here, and we have more number of bars to the left of that and less number of bars to the right of that. So that is the left skewed data. In the third one, here we have the tall bar. To the left of the tall bar, we have fewer number of bars. And on the other side, we have the more number of bars. That means the third histogram represents right skewed data. And in the fourth one, here we have the tallest bar. And we have pretty much equal number of bars on the left and right of that tall bar. So the fourth histogram represents normal distribution. Now we are going to look at the example, and we are going to learn how to construct histogram using Microsoft Excel. Okay, example. Construct a histogram to represent the data shown below. Use the constructed histogram and state the shape of distribution. So here is the data given, and using this we need to construct the histogram, and we are going to use that histogram to describe the shape of the distribution. Okay, let's first copy this data and take it to the Excel. Okay, here is my data. Now what we are going to do is we are going to select this data, and then we are going to go to insert. You'll see different type of charts here. So I'm going to click here so that you'll be able to see all charts, and I'm going to draw the vertical bars. So I'm going to select the first one, or this one here. So double click that. So you'll get that chart here. But you can see we have the information 50 to 60, 60 to 65. We have all that information, but the bars are not close to each other. In histogram, the bar must touch each other. So what you'll do is you'll click somewhere in one of the bars, double click, then right click to format the data series, or when you just right click, you'll see this option here, reduce this width gap, reduce that. Okay, you can bring it to 0 or maybe 1 or 2 or 3, 4%, something like that. So you can see that the bars are close to each other. So this is your histogram. You can do a couple of things here. You can add a title to this chart. In this example, we are talking about temperature in July and number of days. So the title of the chart can be temperatures in the month of July. Temperatures in the month of July. We can also label the axis. So if you click here, okay, you'll see that plus sign. Then you can go to axis title. So it will bring the axis title there. You can highlight this and type your title there. So along the x-axis, we have the temperature. Temperature along the x-axis. Okay. And along the y-axis, we have the number of days. So we can type that, number of days. Okay, number of days along the y-axis. So that is the histogram. It's pretty easy. All you have to do is insert the proper chart and make some adjustment there. It's it is always useful to construct histogram using Microsoft Excel because you can take it wherever you want. You can copy this and paste it in your Microsoft Word. If you are working for any project, it's quite easy to represent the data using histogram. Now you can copy this and take wherever you want. Suppose I want that here. Now I can paste it here. Okay. So you can see the histogram is now here in my presentation slide. Now, what we are asked to do is we are asked to use the constructed histogram to state the shape of distribution. When you look at this, you have the tall bar in the middle, and you have pretty much equal number of data points or equal number of bars on the left and right of the histogram. So you can say that this distribution is a normal distribution. Okay, that is normal distribution. Okay, now let's talk about frequency polygon. When you say frequency polygon, it's a graph that displays the data using the line that connects the points plotted on frequencies at the midpoint of the class. So if the data like this is given, like in this example, so they have given the class and they have given the frequency. But frequency polygon is plotted using the midpoint of this class versus frequency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste this data, copy and paste this data in Microsoft Excel and use that Excel to create the frequency polygon. Okay, here is my data. Now I'm going to work here. So first class we have 50 to 60. Second we have 60 to 70. Okay, now we need to have frequencies here. No, midpoints first. So 50 to 60, midpoint is 55. 60 to 70 is 65. 70 to 80, 75. So this is 85. Then the next one is 95. And this one is 105. Okay. Now let's look at something. If we follow this pattern, the number that we'll have here is 45. Okay, and the number that we'll have here is 115. So we consider this 115 as the midpoint for numbers more than 110. Okay, this is for more than 110, and this one for numbers less than 50. Less than 50. So once we do this, we are going to write our frequencies here. They are given as 5, then 12, 10, 8, 3, 2. Okay, these are the frequencies. So for this one, your frequency is 0 because actually it's not there in the data. This is also not there in the data set, so frequency will be 0. Now what we are going to do is, because the frequency polygon is the graph between the midpoint and frequency, we are going to select these two values. Then again we are going to go to insert, okay, and then we need some sort of lines because frequency polygon has the sides. So we are going to select this and then select the line from here. Okay, you can select a line from here. You can select any. That's one way of selecting. The other one is you can directly go here and look for the graph. Whenever you try to go and check here for all chart type, it will pretty much give you what you're looking for. We are looking for this one. So if you do that, we got the frequency polygon. Okay, we got the frequency polygon. You can click, and then if you want, you can also add the data label. If you add the data label, it's going to label those points. If you want, you can label them. If you don't want, that's okay. So you can see 45, 0, then 55, 5. So all those values are there. Here you can change the chart title. You can give this as frequency polygon, okay, and then you can also label the axis. So for that you can click here, add, then axis title. Along the x-axis we have the midpoints, and along the y-axis we have frequency along the y-axis. You can even do this, frequency along the y-axis and midpoints along the x-axis. So that is my completed frequency polygon. As I mentioned before, you can copy this and take it wherever you want. So I'm copying this and then I'm pasting it here. Okay, so this is my frequency polygon for that given data. Okay, next thing we want to explore in this video is Ogive. Ogive is the graph that represents the cumulative frequency for the class in the frequency distribution. So here I have the frequency distribution. Now we are going to construct Ogive using this data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this data and take it to Microsoft Excel to create Ogive. Okay, here is my data. Now in order to construct the Ogive, I need the frequency, I mean the midpoint and the cumulative frequency. So let's begin with the midpoint of these classes. So for the first class, 50 to 60, your midpoint will be 55. 60 to 70, it will be 65. Then 75, 85, 95, and then for the last class it will be 105. And the frequencies we have is 5, 12, 8, 3, and 2. Let me see if I write everything correct. 5, 12, 10. Okay. 5, 12, 10, 8, 3, and then 2. We have the frequency. Now, if you follow this pattern of midpoint upward, you'll see that the midpoint here will be 45, but actually this is not here in the data, so the frequency for that will be 0. We need that in order to make the Ogive. Now we write the cumulative frequency. For the first row, the cumulative frequency is the frequency on the first row, which is 0. For the second, it is the sum, okay? It is the sum of the cumulative frequency up to the previous row plus the frequency of the current row. Okay, I use the formula and add them. Now I can drag like that. So I have all those frequencies. Now what we can do is we can select this data, then go to Insert and then Charts, okay, and select the line chart with the line like this, and then enter. Because the frequency is also selected, the chart for the frequency is also here, which is the line graph, but we are going to remove that. So let's delete that. Let's also delete this. So this is the this is your Ogive. You can change the title here. You can say this is your, okay, Ogive, Ogive. You can also put the title along the X and Y axis. So you go to plus and then axis title. So here you have your midpoints along the x-axis, then along the y-axis. Let's see what we have along the y-axis. We have the cumulative frequency. Okay, cumulative frequency along the y-axis. So this is your Ogive. Now you can copy this, okay, and paste wherever you want. I'm going to paste that here. So that is the Ogive. We use Ogive to estimate the total number in the sample. For example, if you look at this Ogive, the tip of the Ogive or the last point is here, and the value corresponding to that, as you can see from the pointer, okay, the value is 40. Or you can come across this line to y-axis and find that value, that's 40. So if you add all these, that's equal to 40. So the total number of observation is equal to 40. Ogive is used to find the total number in a given sample in an easy way. Okay, in this video, we learn how to construct histogram and use it to describe the shape of distribution. We learn how to construct frequency polygon for a given set of group data. And also we learn how to construct Ogive for the given set of group data. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching.